Welcome back to my channel for a short Leica episode, which is a follow-up to my video I posted a couple of days back when Leica announced the new Leica M11-P. In this video, which I will post down below in the info box, I basically had, let's call it a pre-production sample of the Leica M11-P. It was not boxed in the usual way, it had no accessories included. It was just for trying it out and getting the video done for the announcement day. Today I have here my own package. This is my own Leica M11-P. And of course I want to unbox it live on my channel so you can see what's in the box. And I will also spend a bit of time on setting the camera up and going the first steps with this new Leica rangefinder camera. So let's get my tool ready here. Let's open this. Let's open this carefully. Here we go. Then let's get the box open. Let's get the inner box out. Here we go. And then we have here the Leica M11-P, and it also is the black paint finish one. And if you remember, and if you have seen my video on the announcement date of the Leica M11-P, I said I'm going for the chrome version, but I loved the black painted version so much when I had it for trying it out that I decided to go for it also with my own unit. That's what it is. I'm very happy to have it, and now let's kick off the video. Alright, unboxing Leica gear is always fun, so let's open this and let's see what's inside. First of all, we have here the usual postcard from the Leica world. That's the campus. I was there just a couple of weeks back on a VIP event, and I love the environment Leica has created here under the leadership of Dr. Andreas Kaufmann. Then we have here again the brochure, The Essential. That's in every Leica camera box, and I've shown this various times on my channel. Then we have here a manual. This is a printed manual. It's not that often these days that you find a printed manual in a camera box, and everything is described here. So if you're old school, you don't want to have a PDF on your iPhone or your Android phone or your iPad or what have you, then this is your chance to read a real booklet. Here is the usual certificate where people signed off on the quality assurance of this camera. We have something else here. What is that? That is probably some telecommunication adherence. That's languages I don't speak. English declaration of conformity. Here we go. And then we have also again the Leica Society International free membership invitation where you can sign up, and then you belong to that group of photographers who also with signing up for a membership confirm their adherence to the Leica brand. So let's get this out here and let's have a look inside. It's a nice package, isn't it? Let's start with the battery, because the battery of course is exactly the same as the one we had from the Leica M11. That is pretty well packed here. Let me try to get this open. So that's the battery. We know that it basically completes the bottom plate of the camera here. Then we have the Leica Photos cable. That is becoming better with every iteration of the software they issue. Then we have here a charger, which is the same charger as the one from the Leica M11. Here you go. And it shows you whether it's charging, and when it reaches 80% of charge, it's also giving you an amber LED light here. Then we have the usual bags. So let's see, let's open this. That's the shoulder strap. The shoulder strap comes in beautiful leather here, if you look. Quite nice, very nice. Good quality, I can feel it in my hands. Let's get this back into the bag. All right. Then we have here another bag. Let's open this up. And here we have a lot of accessories. So let's see. Okay, this is for the chargers here. Let's get them all out. So here's a dedicated charger. You can clip this on and then you're good to go. If you want to open it up, you can also replace it by a US charger, which I appreciate, being in the US very often. See here, that fits nicely. So you can change that. There is the usual USB-C cable here, USB-C to USB-A, which you have in there. And then last but not least, we have here the camera. Let's get it out. That's it. The Leica M11-P, as we can see here. Let's get this up here. Leica M11-P, beautiful design, brand new. This is my own unit. I'm so happy to have it after I tried it out, because I became so excited about that new Leica rangefinder camera, which in my opinion is, as I said in my last video on that camera, the better M11. So the first thing I did when I had the camera out of the box was applying a display protector here, which is a matte display protector, anti-glare, anti-fingerprint. And the brand I'm using for that typically, and I'm not getting paid for telling you that, but you will ask in the comments anyway, is here from Dipos. And you see here, this one is even for the M10P, and that fits still very, very well on the Leica M11P. No issue with that at all. It just fills the LCD display until the boundaries. Since I have two Leica M11 bodies, I already have here a charged battery. There is this ingenious mechanism where you push it and it completes the bottom plate of the camera. You can get it out by pulling that lever, but it will not accidentally drop off. You need to give it another gentle push and then the battery comes out. Simple like that. So that is quite nice, of course. Let's look into this mechanism once more. I like it so much. Let's get the battery out and let's get an SD card for that camera. I love the Sony TUF series. You see here 300 read up and 299 write up times. That is pretty fast transfer rates, and 128 GB is plenty of space for Leica M11. So let's get this out and let's get it into the camera body. So here's the card, TUF series, as I just showed on the packaging. Let's get this inside here. And then let's get the battery back. And then let's switch on the camera for the first time. I'm so proud. This is my own unit. I have no idea what the pipeline is Leica will deliver this time, but there are many people still waiting for the Leica Q3. So I'm very grateful to Leica Switzerland and my friends at Leica Zurich that I'm one of the first who actually has this camera, owning it in his hands. So let's switch it on and then we should see that startup animation here. Let's see. Here we go. Beautiful. I showed that in my video, which I posted a couple of days back when Leica announced the camera. I just love these startup animations a lot, and then we can set up the camera. So English is fine for me. This one we skip for the moment. Wetzlar, Berlin, Madrid, Paris is fine. Daylight saving time is still for another week here in Europe, so let's switch this on. Then we have here the 22nd of October. That's correct, 23. And so let's go on. And we have 1423. It's actually a Sunday, and that's a good day to do an unboxing. So that is all fine. Let's go back. Let's go into the camera here. And then we go quickly through the menu. I want to show a few things here, which I might have mentioned or not have mentioned in my earlier video. So let's go here first to lens detection. That is uncoded currently because there is no lens on the camera body. Now, what lens do I want to use on the M11P? And the one I had in mind is for landscape and cities, the Summilux M widest open f1.4 21mm. That's actually a perfect lens to start with on that camera here. So let's open this quickly. And let's open the lens. Let's get the lens here open and then let's mount this quickly. Here we go. Wow, very nice. That is a very nice lens, and it also looks very well on the Leica M11 camera body. And I'm glad I decided for the black painted finish, because that one at the very end convinced me when I had the camera as a pre-production sample to test it out and got it as a loan from Leica. And you see now the lens detection switched from uncoded to auto, and that's what I actually want to have. Drive mode is fine. Single for the time being. Exposure metering, I like to have center weighted. Then we have exposure compensation, we keep that. And then we have ISO. Let's go back here all the way. Let's go to auto ISO for the time being. Auto ISO settings, I think with this sensor you can safely go up to 6400 or even more, but that's what I want. On the shutter speed limit, I want to have 1/2 times the focal length. Then I'm on the safe side. There is no image stabilization on these type of rangefinder cameras. Maximum ISO flash 200 is fine. And here we also go to 1/2 times the focal length. And then we are good to go on this menu. So let's go back. Then we have white balance. I keep it on auto white balance for the time being. File format, I want to have DNG and JPEG. Then we have DNG resolution is large, of course, because I want to explore the sensor. In a recent video, I actually showed that the best trade-off between file size and image quality is 36 megapixel. I will post that video down below in the info box, where I talk a lot about the ISO-Invariance of the Leica M11 sensor, which is exactly the same on the Leica M11-P. But let's go for large for the time being. JPEG settings also large, noise reduction, let's keep this on 0. Film style standard is good, extended dynamic range. I think I put this on medium. I can anyway correct this later in post. Auto review I want to have on permanent. Noise reduction on is fine. That's a good feature which came to rangefinder cameras not too long ago, that you can actually switch off noise reduction. I like a lot to have control about this feature. Then we have here shutter type. Hybrid is good. Flash setting we skip. Digital zoom I keep off. Perspective control I keep off. Customize control. Editing favorites. So what do I want to have in the favorites? First of all, let's look what the favorites are. So there is no favorites page here. In my pre-production sample, the favorites page was already populated with one entry only, and that was about content credentials. So let's create now a favorite page and let's see what I want to have there. Let's go here to customize control and let's see what I want to have. I want to not have a lot of things there, but drive mode is good. Interval shooting is good, exposure bracketing is good, metering I also want to have there. I want to have there, let's go further, that's all what I don't want to have there. Noise reduction I want to have on the favorites page. Shutter type I don't touch typically that often, I keep it on hybrid all the time. Then I want to have the digital zoom because that works insanely well on the Leica M11 as I demonstrated in a video on my channel. Perspective control is something I access very often. Storage options, no. User profile, no, I don't think I need that. Leica Photos app, yes. Format storage, no, I can do this in the classical menu. And let's see, date and time, edit file name, no, that's all not what I need. I think that's it. So I have edited my favorite page. If I now push the menu button once, I get into the status screen, and the second push will take me to the favorites page. You see here, and then here you find the elements I just selected, drive mode, interval shooting, and so on, down to Leica Photos. And that's exactly what I want. Let's go back to customize controls. So here we go. Then we have reset favorites. Of course not, I've just done it. Customize wheel, let's go into that here. I think focus 8 is what I want to have there. And then backside LED on and bottom LED on is just fine for me. Works in the way it is pre-populated here. Capture assistance, I want to have definitely focus peaking. So let's go into the info profiles and let's go into info profile 1. And this is on info bars, I need them. I want to have the focus peaking. I want to have it in blue and I want to have sensitivity medium. That's typically what I want to have here, but that's not available. So let's keep it on high for the time being. Then level gauge, I don't need. Histogram, I don't need at this point in time. So let's go back. That's my info profiles. Exposure preview, permanent, very important. So you always immediately see what's going on in your image composition when it comes to exposure. Focus 8 automatic, I think that's fine. Let's go back here and that's already it. User profiles I can set up later. Display settings, I think LCD brightness at neutral 0 is fine. Auto switching between electronic viewfinder and LCD is fine. Let's go here to the Leica Photos app. No, I'm going to skip that. Storage management, that's important. So what do I want to have here? I want to have DNG and JPEG on the internal memory and the SD card. The storage here on the Leica M11-P has been massively upgraded from 64 GB on the Leica M11 to 256 GB on the Leica M11-P. And I want to have a backup, so DNG and JPEGs now automatically get stored on the internal memory and the SD card, which is exactly what I want. I don't need these at this point in time. I should format the SD card because I just took it out of box. So let's go here to yes. It's erasing everything, but that card was freshly out of box. Let's also format the internal memory. Very likely not necessary. Why should someone store something on the internal memory of an out-of-the-box new camera? But that's what I wanted to do. Camera settings, power saving mode, I have here typically off because I switch the camera off if I don't use it for more than 5 minutes, and display standby 5 minutes is fine for me. USB charging on is fine. I used to couple this with my Apple smartphone, so Apple MFI is fine here. Wi-Fi we don't need at this point in time. File name, I think I leave it at Leica, L, and then a lot of asterisks. Reset image numbering we don't need, so let's go out of camera settings. Reset camera, done. Now in the meanwhile I got confused because before I go to the last page of the menu, which I did but not have here on video, I couldn't find content credentials, and that's one of the main features. So I called Leica Zurich and they actually came back in less than a day and said there is another firmware update coming, which they sent to me by mail and should now be available in a download link. And that changed with a couple of entries, the menu structure and the way I just showed it. So I want to give you quickly a download what changed. You remember at the beginning of my walking through the menu, we started at lens detection. But now there is the separate menu entry for the self-timer, which is very convenient to have it right at the top level of the menu. So you can go to off, self-timer 2 seconds or self-timer 12 seconds. And that is good, of course. And then if I go through the menu, everything stays the same. But the camera settings, which were here before, they are now here. And reset camera is now at the top level of page number 5. And then here after firmware update, you find actually the content credentials. And that's something, if you want to have it, you should actually switch on. So I have switched it on here, and I also have filled in here my credentials under copyright, of course, and also under produced by, so that this is taken care of. And if you have not watched my video on the announcement day of the Leica M11-P, you maybe should, because there I explain in greater detail what Leica content credentials is all about, so you can look this up in the video. So the last menu entry we have here is camera information. That is important for me typically because it contains the copyright section where I can fill in what's now filled in under Leica content credentials, namely here math photographer and here math photographer. That used to be as a copyright information under camera information. That's no longer here because we have now the stronger version of content credentials. You also see here, by the way, the firmware number is now 2.0.1. So if you have not updated your camera, you actually should. And then the last menu entry is English, and that completes my walk through the menu. Now the camera is set up and I can shoot it with my Leica Summilux M 1:1.4 21mm, a fantastic wide angle lens. Actually, as a friend from Leica pointed out to me, also good for people photography, which is something I need to try out. Alright, if you liked that video, don't forget to drop me a thumbs up. Stay tuned on my channel, there's always more to come. Thanks for watching, stay safe and healthy, and of course, peace out.